Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council for December 19th, 2013 to order at 8:03 p.m. On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Here.
Castiglia.
Here.
Conboy.
Here.
Pettigano.
Here.
Bonsino.
Here.
Coletti.
Here.
Mayor Mola.
Here. Will everyone please rise for our prayer and flag salute? Oh God, our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting into your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and plant therein a keen sense of justice and a greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so our decisions will always please you and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Law of the State of New Jersey requires at the commencement of every meeting a statement by the presiding officer. Now therefore be advised, the meeting requirements of this meeting have been met by publishing an annual notice in the Record of Hackensack, the Herald News of Woodland Park, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk, as well as in the public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 1st, 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, this meeting will be on Cablevision, Channel 77. It'll be on Tuesday at 12 noon, Thursday at 4 p.m., and Friday at 12 p.m. Thank you. Mr. Clerk?
Mayor, this evening we have a presentation to be made to Councilman Thomas Conboy.
I'm going to give that after his committee report.
Okay. Then we'll move on to the approval of minutes of the December 5th, 2013 regular meeting and the December 12th, 2013 executive session.
May I have a motion for both, please?
So moved.
Mr. Conboy, second by Mr. Bonsino. Any discussion? Call the roll.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yep.
Pettigano.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening under ordinances on second reading, we have Resolution 377-13, introduce ordinance 13-30 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to fix the salary, wage, compensation of the officers, employees, and servants of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey for the year 2013. And whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, December 5th, 2013, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to fix the salaries, wages, and compensation of the officers and employees and servants of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey for the year 2013 pass on final reading. We'll need a motion to open to the public.
Motion to open the public, please.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy, second.
Second.
Mr. Coletti, any discussion? All in favor? Anyone wish to be heard on this ordinance? If not, I'll close the public portion. May I have a motion on the ordinance, please?
So moved.
Mr.
Second.
Coletti, second. Mr. Conboy, any discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Pettigano.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to Resolution 378-13, introduce ordinance 13-31 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled an ordinance amending Ordinance 4-19.10 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled False Alarms. And whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, December 5th, 2013, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled an ordinance amending 4-19.10 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled False Alarms pass on final reading. Mayor will need a motion to open to the public.
Motion,
moved.
please.
I'll move it.
Mr. Castiglia, second. Mr. Bonsino. All in favor, opposed? Anyone in the audience who wishes to hear, speak on this? This is the alarm, your burglar alarm, false alarms. It indicates that for the first, second, and third reading, it's just a warning. The fourth reading will be $50, the fifth $100, and the sixth $300, and the seventh $500. Anyone wish to be heard? If not, I'll close the public portion of the meeting. May I have a motion on this ordinance, please? Moved by Mr. Bonsino, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Conboy. Any discussion?
Yeah, Mayor, just would like to say that when the council was considering to revamp this ordinance, the main idea was to consider our seniors who sometimes inadvertently set their alarms off, and what we don't want is them to shut their alarms off because they're in fear of being penalized with a false alarm.
Thank you. Mr. Casbar?
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Patagano.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Motion carries. And Resolution 379-13, introduce ordinance 13-72 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled "An Ordinance to Fix the Salaries, Wages, and Compensation of the Employees of the Department of Public Works in the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, from January 1st, 2014 through December 31st, 2016. And whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, December 5th, 2013, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled "An Ordinance to Fix the Salaries, Wages, and Compensation of the Employees of the Department of Public Works in the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, from January 1st, 2014 through December 31st, 2016, pass on final reading." We'll need a motion to open to the public.
Motion. Mr. Bonsino, second.
Second.
Mr. Castiglia, any questions? Anybody, all in favor? Opposed, so ordered. Anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard? If not, I'll close the public portion. May I have a motion on the ordinance, please?
So moved.
Mr. Coletti, second.
Second.
Mr. Castiglia, any comments?
Mayor, I just want to add that under the consent agenda this evening, we will also, Resolution 387-13, we will be approving and ratifying the contract with the Teamsters Union, who represents the Department of Public Works employees in concert with this ordinance.
Good, thank you. Call a roll, please.
On roll.
Do I get a motion on the,
Yeah, you need discussion.
any discussion? Call a
On
roll,
the
please.
consent agenda?
No, this
No,
is
no,
on,
on
this
the-
is on the ordinance for
Oh, I'm
Public
sorry.
Works.
Call a roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Patagano.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Coletti.
Yep.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening, under the consent agenda, we have Resolution 380-13, payment of bills, Resolution 381-13, confirmation of escrow checks, Resolution 382-13, confirmation of payroll, Resolution 383-13, agreement between the Borough of Elmwood Park and the City of Hackensack for emergency use of vaccine storage, Resolution 384-13, transfer of funds, Resolution 385-13, authorized purchase of two 2013 Ford Focus for the Building Department, Resolution 386-13, authorized purchase of a 2013 Ford F-350 for the Department of Public Works, Resolution 387-13, approval of Department of Public Works employment contract with the Teamsters Local 560, Resolution 388-13, appointment of Robert Manginelli for the Library Board for an unexpired 5-year term, Resolution 389-13, transfer of funds, Resolution 390-13, resolution to authorize the animal control contract with Bergen Humane Enforcement, and Resolution 391-13, authorize execution of a service contract for security detail RD Elmwood Associates LP.
Motion, please.
Mayor, if I may, can we pull separately R-385-13, the authorization of purchase of the two Ford Focuses?
Can you do that, Mr. Casbar?
How about we ask for a motion, Mayor, for all the resolutions named with the exception
Yeah,
of
that's fine.
R-385-13?
That's fine.
Okay.
May I have a motion for that? All the resolutions except 385-13. It's moved by Mr. Bonsino, second, Mr. Castiglia. Any discussion? Call a roll.
Yeah, if I may, I'd just like to ask my colleagues why.
We'll get to that, Tom.
Well,
got-
since
we gotta
tonight's
pull-
my last night, I'm just curious.
No, we're going to get to it. We got to pull this first.
Okay.
Before we can
I
discuss it.
apologize.
Through you, Mayor, the motion on the table is all of the consent agenda resolutions with the exception of 385-13, which will be considered as a separate matter.
Motion, please,
We
to
we have a motion, Bonsino and Castiglia.
call a roll.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Patagano.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mayor, we can consider Resolution 385-13 as a separate matter.
Mayor, if I may, I'd like to table this ordinance I'd like to see a little more data concerning,
Tabling motion made by Mr. Coletti. Any second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Vancino. Call the roll, please.
On a motion to table, council
Excuse
members.
me, I'm sorry.
There's no, you can ask it later, but there's no discussion on the tabling motion.
well, how, okay.
Call the roll, please.
On a motion to table, council members Catamania,
Yes.
Castiglia,
Yes.
Conboy,
Is there going to be discussion when this is over?
Better be. I'd like to see a
Yes.
discussion.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say yes.
Pettigano,
Yes.
Vancino,
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Motion to table on the resolution is adopted.
Mayor, if I may explain myself a little on this. The other night at our work meeting, we chose to go ahead with this. I had some doubts about my decision that night. It wasn't sitting well with me in reference to purchasing 2 new vehicles for this department that we've never done before. Normally, they were handed down from the police department, these cars used 5 or 6 years, and that would aid the building department. Now, this ordinance here is suggesting we purchase two more. I'd like to have a little more data on whether or not it's more cost-efficient to maintain the vehicles or to purchase the vehicles.
Thank you. Mr. Kazmark?
I would just like to comment, as I respect my colleague's overview, his opinion, and certainly even though it's my last meeting, I certainly don't want to be a squeaky wheel, but we met with the department head. This is a department that we're doing a shared service with that has worked out excellent. The department is, not every department has the ability to create revenue. This department has been on the ball ever since we made the transition and change in this department and went into this shared service. It's already exceeded its revenue projections, and it has under the direction under Mr. Bolin. And it was pretty outlined that the vehicles they had are pretty much done. I mean, they're almost Fred Flintstone type vehicles. They just aren't ready yet, but give it a little longer and they'll be pushing them with their feet. And I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I believe we were at that level in discussions. And they're coming under county, state guidelines. I think each vehicle is only $15,000 or $14,000 in change, all in. And they're not like loaded vehicles. They don't have CD players. They may still have roll down windows for all I know. But they seem pretty cheap. And again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to my colleague up here, who I respect tremendously. I just don't understand. This is a department that clearly told us he had already gone to the department heads of other departments, in this case, the police department. Our police chief feels there's no vehicles he can give him. Both our top mechanic at DPW and our DPW superintendent said throwing any more money into it is just a waste. So it sounds more like a way to, it may seem like we're spending more of the taxpayers' money, but the department is performing at its highest level ever, and the borough seems to be very happy with it, and the tax residents. I just don't feel it's fair to uphold the 2 vehicles to this department. And
Thank you.
I thought he answered all our questions.
Yeah, well,
Thank you.
Tom, let me just say this, that you might be 100% right. I just don't have that warm and fuzzy feeling at this point, because we've never done this before, and I think there's a little more due diligence necessary in order for me to feel very warm about it, and that's all I'm asking for.
Thank you. Mr. Kazmark?
Mayor, under departmental reports this evening, we have the Police Department report for November 2013, the Department of Public Works report for November 2013, the Library minutes for October 28th, 2013, the Recreation Commission minutes from October 28th, 2013, the Health Department reports for September 2013, October 2013, and November 2013, and the Recreation Departmental report for November 2013.
Motion to receive and file?
So moved.
Mr. Castiglia, second.
Second.
Mr. Vancino, any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? So ordered.
Aye.
And Mayor, we have one raffle application this evening for the Elmwood Park Patterson Elks Lodge Local 60 for their 50/50 raffle application.
Motion to approve?
So moved.
Mr. Coletti, second.
Second.
Mr. Castiglia, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Committee reports. Mr. Catamania.
Yeah, I wonder if I should do my comment. All right. what I want to say is, Mr. Castelia, it's been a pleasure serving with you in the council.
Thank you, too.
Thank you. And also, thank you for serving on the planning board for all those years. You always did a good job. Larry, believe it or not, I will miss you.
He's going
You
to
are
be here,
truly-
he's going to be here on New Year's Day.
Well, you can miss me now.
I don't want to kick him
Come
out.
on, Frank, go on.
He's enjoying it, man.
He's gonna
Keep-
get out of here.
Then keep those
I'm only
notes.
stopping for 10 minutes on
And keep
Friday.
those
I
notes.
hate to repeat myself again. So Larry, you like this, what I'm going to say? Listen, I just want to say this. Maybe I will not be here. I never know.
You never know.
I'll be here.
Nina never knew either.
I will miss you. You are truly a gentleman.
Thank you.
You always been nice to me. We always discuss, never nasty once. And I just want to wish you, may God bless you and your family, and enjoy your grandchildren. And hope that God will give you a long and healthy life. Just
Thank
want
you,
to say, Merry Christmas, all right?
Thank you, you too.
Thank you. Mr.
Can I say
Conboy?
something about, can I say something, Mr. Conway? Or should I wait until the first?
No, he's not going to be
Frank,
here.
this is it for me.
Oh, you're not
Don't
gonna-
get all teary-eyed on me.
I just, hope I can hold my tears back.
Or your laughter, whatever your
Tom.
cup of tea.
Really, thank you for serving on the council. And we all know you work very hard. We all know that you care about the children and the people in Elmwood Park. The two of us worked together well for many years. Unfortunately, during campaign, we have some problems here. And I hope you know that this is a politics, and I hope you know that we should stay friends. After all, both serve to make this borough a better place to live. Tom, I want to wish you also Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, you and the family.
Thank you, Frank.
Can I say something else?
Yeah.
Please.
Nobody else to compliment anymore. As you know, I think you know, about a few days ago, I think Tuesday morning, at Gander Air School, there was a terrible smell of gas. And the students had to be evacuated to a nearby firehouse, and then to a recreation center. I really want to commend the great job these people did. The principal, Ms. Jachter, the superintendent, Dr. Tomko, and also Donna Pugliese, did for the safety of the children, was well organized. I just want to congratulate them. That's a really good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Conboy?
Something else, right?
I'm sorry?
Tomorrow is my last day of work, school.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on retiring as a teacher, Mr. Castellani.
Oh, and I'm not retired as a custodian.
You-
I think they fixed the letter. I got a new letter say, a teacher, thank God. Because say teacher, I mean, I hate to say this. One of the teachers called me and said, Frank, my room is a mess. When are you gonna clean up? I told him I would do it if I had a broom, but I lent it to my mother-in-law Halloween night. So, my mother-in-law said,
It's on TV.
that's only a joke. My wife will divorce me for this. Anyhow, am I happy leaving school? I'm not happy. Should I be happy? Really, I'm happy. I am not. I'm really sad. Teaching is not easy. You gotta love to teach. You gotta have it in your heart. You gotta love the children, the kids. It's a lot of work. It's become difficult lately because this new technology, it's a lot of problem. Really, when I started to teach in 1970, then they didn't know what a computer was. Now we have iPads, you have all this technology. The barber said, did you read the email I sent you? Maybe not. But I'm getting used to it. So I had a good time while I was teaching. I took kids to Italy many times. I shared beautiful moments. And I was so happy to show them different schools in Italy. Also, different city hall. We met many mayors there. And they were really nice to us. One day was an excellent day. This was the city of Victoria. Mayor, he met the mayor here. If you remember, he came here. The kids, high school kids, waiting for us outside. They made a line, each one of them holding an American flag to welcome us. And then the auditorium, they were ready with the band, and they play nothing but American songs.
Good. Excellent.
Really, those are beautiful memories that I keep in my mind. Okay, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Caramagna. Mr. Castiglia?
Oh, wow, it's
No,
good to me,
Mr. Conboy, I'm
It's
sorry.
okay, if you want to bounce back and forth, it doesn't matter.
I was getting you off before you're ready.
It's up to you. Larry, or?
No, you, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I just,
Okay,
looking at Larry's name down here.
okay, all right. Good thing I asked the guy how much hours of tape we have, because
Oh, no.
I'm gonna go through these invoices one by one to tell you what we're actually spending. Make sure you get me on my good side, it's the last one, it's my memory tape. I want some farewell to it, maybe some music when it comes on. Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd, just a couple of notes on some loose end things. First, I'd just like to thank, I don't know if many of our members of our town know, but 2 weeks ago, a young man from our community graduated from the state police, Stephen Cody. Anyone who's been around the football field as Bombers and so forth all know Stephen. We all watched him grow up, and now he's going to keep our highways safe and our families safe. And he graduated 2 weeks ago when on the news when you saw all the class, the 2012 class of 2013 class, I'm sorry, of state troopers. So Stephen, stay safe and be well, and always be cautious and, as I said, be safe. Couple little last minute things on the rec commission. The board is in final mode of the commission and the board. Recently, you have heard from us speak that we had received some monies from the counties in an effort to continue the upkeep of our recreation facilities. So the county was able to get us about $25,000 to modernize the kitchen. The rec commission is looking into a few other little expenditures to make it complete, as I had shared with the governing body quite a few times. Again, this didn't have to come for any tax dollars. $25,000 came from the county, and with no match, that was a pure 25 from them. And we're going to put a few $1,000s in from the trust to complete it, so that this kitchen now can become operational during all the sporting events that we have in there, or any of the town events, that you can do the things that you need to do in working with conjunction with our Department of Health, Debbie Ritchie, department head, and everything else, and to be up to code. So it's just another complimentary thing that they've done down there at the rec facility to bring everything up to its current code standards and so forth. So on that front, I want to just finalize my report on there. Just a couple of other things, I guess. I'd just like to thank, it's been a long 6 years. I said to somebody recently, and somebody asked me the same question, how do you feel? Something comes with after being here for 6 years, you somewhat regain some of your freedoms that you can now say and do whatever you want anyway, even though some may think that that's what I did anyway the last year and a half. But it's going to be interesting. I'm already found many things to keep my Thursday nights occupied. Funny, I thought my wife and kids would be kind of happy to get me back on Thursdays. They've had me home a couple of Thursdays, and they said, when are you going back out? So, kind of funny. But I want to thank, first of all, and I'll finish up here, I want to thank all the people of Elmwood Park. Whether you voted for us in the past, or you didn't vote for us, and clearly those didn't vote for us this year, that's what it's all about. That's the fun part. Whether or not you really did a great job, and no matter all those things that come into factors, at the end of the day, it's up to the people of Elmwood Park and how it goes in any election. And I'm not at all bitter or sad, or I'm thrilled with that process, that we have that process. And I really want to thank all the people, because at many times when I was down, one time you all remember I was out of work for a while. So many people of the town, I would see them say, hey, keep it up. Hey, can I help you out? You need something? Even when in our recent, in losing last month, I received some really wonderful cards. I was really surprised. It was nice. I got some really nice cards from folks just saying thank you. I've seen quite a few people around town, and it's nice to have people, some who don't even know you're still their councilman or were their councilman. I actually had someone the other day in the store congratulate me for winning. I had to let them down easy. That didn't happen. Oh my God, really? But I want to really thank the people of the town. for all their support and everything that we've all done together. I'd also like to thank all of our department heads. They take a lot of beating over the time, and I think they're all phenomenal people. They do the best they possibly can. They really work hard for our municipality, and I'm not sure everybody always really knows that, but they do. I want to thank all the folks that sit on our boards for everything that they do. It's not an easy task either, and they do a great job, so I want to thank all of them and wish everybody else the best. I'd like to thank all the folks of the Elmwood Park Republican Club. They put their trust in me and backed us for a number of years and did a lot of things to help us be successful. And they're all very wonderful people, and they work very hard. Again, as Frank mentioned, you know, we're all trying to do the best for the town. And, you know, someday I really hope there's a time when we can just forget about these Ds and Rs and see the day when it's just a group of folks who just want to see the best of Elmwood Park that it could possibly be. As far as any kind of election things and things like that, for me, it's over, it's done with, let's move on. So I really want to thank all the folks there. I've been, you know, as Frank mentioned and you all have mentioned, I work very hard at things that we do. We have a lot of fun doing the things we do, National Night Out, things like that, Community Day, a lot of things that we've done. It's great to see all those things happen and the town come out. I did take recreation very serious. I just wasn't one of those liaisons who showed up or maybe missed a little while here and there. I think that rec commission, its current members and some of the past members that served in the 6 years I was there, we took the rec commission from maybe the meetings happen, maybe they don't, or they would avoid an issue because maybe they knew people were coming, so the meeting wouldn't happen, and then the meeting would happen after you left. We missed very few meetings, and the only time I think we only missed 2 meetings was because we just didn't have a quorum. But meetings were open, they were open to the public, you had a place to say. We've done many great things, I'm not gonna list them all, but many great things that I know we can look at. And that commission puts themselves out there every day and trying to answer whatever the needs are. And I'm very proud that of the work we've done with Ms. Pugliese. She served, I still, you know, yes, there was an in-between person, but I like to believe since that person really didn't last enough time, she's really our second ever recreation person, and it was great to put someone into place, change it up. And, you know, she's taken a lot under fire and so forth, and has come under scrutiny a lot, and she really weathered it all. As I like to tell her that she's the tiger lady. She comes back roaring right away. She's not afraid. So I wish her and the board forward and everything that happens at the recreation to continue to be strong. Don't worry, I plan on being there with you every step of the way. I will not leave your side. You're all good people, and I know the town acknowledges that by the great job that they tell us that we do down there, that you've done down there. So, and just to segue for a second, I do want to just read something to you, if I could. There was an article written about a month or so ago, and I think it was in Bergen One magazine, but it was a magazine done independently. I don't know how many people saw it, but it was really an article about Elmwood Park and mostly about the Chamber of Commerce. And it talked about how Elmwood Park, and I'll just kind of go through it real fast, but talked about how we're only a 2.8 square mile community, and yet we have such a robust and thriving Chamber of Commerce, and we're kind of like a little hidden secret with all these major highways going through it. And it's amazing that more of the retail community hasn't tapped into Elmwood Park and what they're really missing out on. And then it kind of talks about just the town a little bit. And it goes on to say about how Elmwood Park is very much a family town, with nearly 30% of the borough's 7,000 plus households having children under the age of 18 living at home. The borough boasts no less than 8 parks and playgrounds and has one of the area's most active recreation programs. This is an article, this is more about the article, but I found that article, someone sent me that. It's an amazing article considering the person who wrote it is completely an independent person and did not call anybody for any information about our borough other than what they had read about or had seen them on their own and what they went out and saw about Elmwood Park. And I think that just is a compliment to the Recreation Commission, that could be written about what they think of this person thought of our Recreation Department. So my hat continues off to all of you. Larry, to you, my friend, I want to thank you for your guidance, your leadership at times when you know you needed to step in and be a good friend and listener. You were. I appreciate that. You have served your country. You have been a champion for this town. You have served on the planning board for 23, I believe, years, or 22, but I know over 20. You served on the planning board, and as I said, you've been a champion for this town. And I know one thing for sure, as you are a champion, you are a king to your family. They love you. You make sacrifices for them.
Thank you.
You have done so much for your family. And whenever I talk to you, it's always, I'm off running. I got the 3 kids in the car, and I'm going here and I'm going there. And you fought for your community, how you got into politics, fighting for your town when things were happening over there in the Rosemont section, and you came here. That's how we first met. And I admire you, Larry. I want to thank you for allowing me to share the billboards with you and the ballot. And then to my family. I'm no longer, as my brothers and sisters, I'm one of 7. We like to say we're orphans. Our mom and dad have been gone now for some time. But my mom was still with us when I won my first election. First thing she said to me was, "Are you crazy? What are you doing? What are you absolutely nuts?" And she said, "If your father was here, he'd say to you, 'Didn't you learn anything from me?'" But she also told me that she thought he'd be very proud. I'm glad that she was able to see that. And I want to thank my brothers and sisters. Many have moved here and have made their home here in Elmwood Park, planted their family flag here. And I appreciate all their support. My beautiful wife, Laura, who is Italian, and my 2 beautiful sons who are half Italian. The other half, probably Irish. But as I like to tell me, they tell everybody they're Italian first. So I want to thank them because God knows, if you think I'm crazy here, you should see what happens when I go home. And I want to thank all my colleagues. Frank said some very nice things. I know that that was killing him to do that, but I know he meant it because we've seen Frank and I have run into each other, not so much anymore, but we used to have these late rendezvous at the 7-Eleven. First I thought maybe he was stalking me, I wasn't sure, and then I got nervous. Always make sure I locked my doors, I wasn't sure.
I check my number.
Thought I was going to hear someone say, "Grab the cannolis," I don't know. But we had a lot of fun, and we did do a lot of great things together. And we've sat on many boards together, and Frank, I've said it all the time. You should just be just as much as proud as I am, as with the rest of us sitting on the finance committee. Because one thing we really did on that finance committee is work this budget really hard. And our department heads had to work with the very little bit we gave them, and it did a lot of work. So I also want to thank all my colleagues up here for putting up with me, and my past colleagues that were up here with me. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Tom, I have a plaque I'm going to present to you, but I want to read it because if I get up, it's not going to have the microphone. Presented to Councilman Thomas Conboy, the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council wish to extend their heartfelt thanks on behalf of the community for your 6 years of dedicated service as a member of the Elmwood Park Borough Council, December 19, 2003. May I present this on behalf of the council and the community?
Thank you, Mayor. Oh, community news? Thank you, Lawrence. My brother. Thank you, Frank. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mark. Thank you very much. Mayor, I was going to bring a plaque for you tonight because I figured, I've definitely sent you home with some agita.
We give him one
So-
2 years from now. Wait.
Oh,
Okay.
he's planning already. He said he's going to give you a plaque. That didn't come from me. Instead, I'm going to build you a statue because God knows I definitely, you've earned it when it comes to me. So I want to thank the mayor for putting up with me for this long. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Mr. Boncino?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. The New Jersey SAM accepted electronic bids on December 10th for the purposes of obtaining electric supply services. I'm pleased to report that the bid price received was below the strike price set by NJSEM, and they were able to award a 17-month contract, which starts January 2014 and runs through June 2015 with South Jersey Energy. The savings on the cost of power supply on our accounts is estimated to be about 13% over the 17-month contract term. So that was important. It's a 17-month term because they didn't sign a contract when the last renewal came up, so the 17-month puts us in line with the other municipalities. As Councilman Caramagna alluded to, this past Tuesday, school officials needed to evacuate Gantner Avenue School due to a strong odor in the building. Our police department, working with school officials and other borough departments, including Recreation, DPW, and Fire, executed an orderly transition of students and staff to our recreation complex. Once our students were dismissed, our students were dismissed to their parents or guardians in an orderly fashion. If you recall, on Tuesday, we had a small snow event which complicated matters, but the success of that day is rooted in the cooperative planning between borough and school officials. Now, Mayor, I know Councilman Castiglia is going to be here on the 1st, but Larry, you just replay this on the 1st in the morning before you come down here. With this being the last public meeting of 2013, I just wanted to acknowledge two colleagues I've had the opportunity to work with and learn from over the past 5 years. Larry Castiglia, I first met when I served on the planning board as an alternate member. One word consistently comes to mind when I think of Larry, and that is concern. And concern comes up because I knew Tom was giving his report, and Larry had informed me he only had 25% battery power left on his iPad, so I wasn't sure if he was going to last through the report. But seriously, whether it's making decisions on the planning board or as part of this governing body, Larry is always concerned about how his decisions that he makes will affect the residents of Elmwood Park. He routinely looks at issues from different points of view in order to make the best decision possible for our community. Councilman Conboy and I go back to T-ball, not when we played, but he coached both my sons, and I got to know him really well then and over the years at St. Leo's School, where he was the sports director. I always looked forward to attending homeschool association meetings just to hear Tom's reports. He's always approached his work here on council with a passion and caring that is and will be unmatched. He made significant contributions to the Recreation Department and was an astute finance chair during his tenure, and I will miss his reports. So Tom, Larry, it's been a pleasure serving with you on council. Thank you for serving our community. Enjoy the breather you are now entitled to, and accept my wishes for much success in future endeavors. And finally, together with my family, I'd like to wish the residents of Elmwood Park a very Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy, and safe New Year. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Castiglia.
Wow. How do I, all right, I'm a little choked up. Thank you, everybody. All the kind words, Thomas, Frank, Lou. Me and Tom go back a long way now. We didn't know each other before, but I guess 2005, about when we were out there walking around in the mud out on Garden Drive or Martha Ave, wherever it was down there.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. We've done a lot since then. I feel that we've accomplished some things. You know, we had our good times, we had our bad times. I mean, it's never been dull, never been a dull moment all the way through. I'm a regular straight from the hip kind of guy, shooting straight from the hip. I never really got into all of that, those organizational skills. Tom is the type of guy, I guess that the team made a good team. He was the type of guy that just give him the problem and he'll handle it. Even if it's something that nobody else wants to touch. He'll go out there and he'll give it everything he's got, and you will see it start to get better and better, and soon enough everybody notices the work that he's done. But he did it. One example I keep bringing up is the community night out, the national night out. The first one we went to when we were running for council, I guess back in 05 or 06, was behind the town hall here. And I think there was a fire truck and maybe 2 police cars and 4 or 5 people taking pictures of each other. And Tom and I were standing there basically by ourselves. We looked around the fire engine. Great. And that was about it. So he got involved in it, and you can see where it's gone since then. It is something to be proud of, and that's the kind of things that he does, and that's the kind of things that he's done for 6 years. And I'm sure in his life he'll continue to do things like that. He's that kind of a guy, and I'm proud to have served 6 years with him. I'm proud to have served time up here with all you guys and the people that were up here before and aren't here now. I have something here. I have something written down that I will read, but I just want to make sure that everybody knows that I appreciate all we've done together, and I'll see you around. All right, I got here. Let me get to this. You asked, Mayor, I will be here on January 1st for the reorganization meeting. I'll be here briefly, complete my term at that time. Tonight's my last council meeting. Like I said, it's been a pleasure to serve the community as a councilman for 6 years. I'm also going to be stepping down from my position as vice chairman of the planning board, where I have served for 28 years. So combined, if you want to work it that way, it's about 34 years of community service. So I guess it's time for a break, yeah. I'd like to thank everyone who supported me over the years. I'm not going to go through all the things that I think we accomplished in the 6 years that Tom and I have been up here. One thing I want people to understand, it's not an easy job. You know, every issue that comes before this council, there's two sides to every issue. And there's people on both sides of those issues. People you know, your neighbors, your friends, and yet you have to keep it in your mind to vote and make that decision, what's going to affect the community as a whole. You know, you got to try to step away from all the personal things. It doesn't make it an easy job. These new councilmen are going to have to deal with that, and I'm confident that they'll make decisions the right way for the whole town. I'm proud to have been involved in the planning and development of the borough for the last 3 decades. I mean, we had some meetings that went till 2 in the morning on the planning board. I'm glad those days are gone. That was back in the 80s. And I'm proud to have been associated with the Veterans Organization for the last 6 years. I got to know those guys. Like I said, I will stay connected to those, the VFW and the American Legion. Let's see, I wrote this down so I don't forget anything, and I'm just going off anyway. All right, I've been the commissioner for the DPW for 2 terms now. They're a great bunch of guys down there, okay? They don't get the credit sometimes that they deserve. I mean, we try to do it as much as we can. But what a lot of people don't realize, most of their job involves things that we as regular people wouldn't even want to get involved in. We wouldn't want to touch it. You know, they're out there in the middle of a storm. We might be home in the middle of the night, and it's either raining out or there's a hurricane blowing through or a snowstorm, 2 feet deep snow. They're out there. And I work in that kind of a business also, so I know what they're dealing with. And a couple of years back, during Hurricane Irene, I was out with our emergency services for a couple of hours. We brought it up at the meeting. They do some scary things out there, you know. People bring up things about the DPW. 1 guy is working and 3 guys are watching her. They do jobs, like I said, that we don't even want to touch. You know, in the middle of the night, they'll climb in a hole in the middle of the street, because when you turn on your water faucet, you want water to come out. You know, that's the kind of things that they do. So in the 6 years that I've been here, I tried to change the view that some people might have of the DPW, because they are hard-working guys. And I hope whoever takes over the DPW as commissioner will keep doing that. You know, keep reminding the people that these guys do work hard. They don't fluff off like a lot of people think that they might be doing. And lastly, congratulations to the new councilman, and good luck to the mayor and the council with everything that comes before the board. It was my privilege to run with Tom, I think 4 times, right, Tom?
Yeah.
I think we ran 4 times. It was a good stretch. We did good. But like I said, I'm ready to take a break, take my 6 granddaughters on vacation a little more often. And that's about it. Merry Christmas to everybody, and I will see you all on January 1st. I'll still be here briefly.
He's going to be here. He's coming back.
Thanks, guys.
You gotta come down, I have to go to the, a couple chances there.
I'll see you around.
Mr. Pettigrew?
Thank you, Mayor. First, a little Health Department news. There will be a free blood pressure and health consultation January 21st, 2013. That's a Tuesday at the Elmwood Park Senior Center at 500 Boulevard. All Elmwood Park and Lodi residents are welcome. Senior Center membership is not required. Appointment is not needed. Also, the Child Health Clinic, free immunizations for infants and children to 18 years of age, for uninsured families, for people who need flu shots, children, and for children are available. Child Health Clinic is for residents of Elmwood Park and Lodi. All visits are by appointment at the Elmwood Park Health Department in the municipal building right here. Excuse me. Please call 201-996-2038 to make an appointment. Also, animals, cat and dog licenses are due January 2014. This is very important because pretty soon we're going to be doing a census on this. So anybody who thinks that they don't need to license their animal, beware, there will be people walking around town this year checking to see who and who does not have their animals. Also, when you do come down for your license, please have proof of rabies, vaccine, and spay or neuter documentation. Also, the Affordable Healthcare Marketplace, which is the ACA, for uninsured citizens. The online enrollment is www.healthcare.gov. Enroll by phone, 1-800-318-2596. And general enrollment information is 1-800-706-7803. And I too, along with the council members, would like to thank these two gentlemen, Larry and Tom, for their years of service. In my 1 year, I have learned a lot about Larry. I did not know him very well. I do now, and I look forward in the future to possibly work with him because I know he's the type of man that will stay involved. He has garnered my respect, and I will miss him.
Thank you.
Tom, even though we've had some tenuous moments,
All but fun.
I totally respect everything we've done together and apart. You are a man of conviction, a man that takes the bull by the horns, and he does get things done. I know he will be involved because he loves Elmwood Park, the same as everybody here. And I hope in the next year, I think we're going to be doing a little work together. And I think along with the commission, you know, we're all going to get together and have some moments, but we're going to get a lot done this year. And these ex-councilmen are vital to the transition also to our new candidates. So good luck. Have a great holiday, both of you and all councilmen. And Elmwood Park citizens, please be safe. Don't drink and drive. Have fun, but not too much. And that's it, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Coletti?
Well, regarding my two colleagues here are leaving us on January 1st, Tom, you won't be here. Larry, you will be, so I'll reserve my comments for the first with you, Larry. And Tom, to understand Tom, you have to sit back and you have to really think about it. And what I concluded was that if I was choosing up sides to play baseball or football, he'd be one of the first people I'd want on my team. And if I was in a firefight and I was in a foxhole, that would be the person I'd want inside that foxhole. As my colleagues have said, and it's unanimous, that when he grabs onto something, he does not let up. And I've taken a look at the rec department prior to Tom being on the council, and now at this point, and I can honestly say him and the people that he's working with, they have embellished all the programs. And there's a lot there, Tom, that, now I've been in your shoes as far as being unsuccessful in some elections.
In love? Oh.
No, I've been very fortunate in love. I have a wonderful wife of 43 years. You hear me, honey? She's beautiful inside and out, and I'm a happy camper with that. Anyhow, when it comes to these, I'll call them little trophies that you can look back on and say, you know what? I was part of that.
Yeah.
I helped create that. And there's no better feeling in the world, and I'm sure there's a dozen of them, if not more, that you'll be able to reflect on.
That's true.
Enjoy your little hiatus. I'll say just say that, because I don't think it's forever that we won't see you in public life again. And God bless you.
Well, actually, on January 2nd, Larry and I are registered to become Democrats. So you'll see us.
I'm not.
We're holding on to those campaign signs.
I am not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Regarding the fire department, our fire chief, Scott Mutel, and staff, along with our administrator, Keith Kasmark, Mayor Mola, and I, did submit an application for a AFG Fire Department grant to replace some aging equipment, specifically air tanks that are reaching their sunset. Hopefully, we will be successful, which will be saving a huge amount of money for residents of Elmwood Park. I won't mention the school only because my colleagues have said much about it, but the schools, as they did say, Gatton Ave was shut down, and before they reopened, I'm sure the air qualities were checked, and now they're reopened. And pursuant to the insurance, JIF, our joint insurance fund, I missed Wednesday's meeting. I had a personal obligation. Had a brother that was operated on, and had to be there for him. But I will be reporting on them at my next meeting that I attend. And a happy and safe holiday to all you folks out there. Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you. And that means I'm supposed to come up with something different, which is not going to happen. I'll talk about Larry when I see him. Tom, it's been a pleasure having you on the board, and thank you for putting up with me.
I think it's the other way around, Mayor.
No,
Thank you
no,
for saying
no,
it.
no. Quite frankly, your commitment to the council and to the community is well worthwhile, but I remember coming to meetings early on in my mayoralty where it was 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and we had people here at the meetings. It doesn't happen anymore, so I've had to put up with a lot. But I wish you good luck in everything you decide to do, and stay involved.
I'm gonna.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard? And just come up and give your name and address, please.
Stephen Martino, 210 Orchard Street. Larry and Tom, I'm not taking your spots. To me, you're always going to be council, okay? And I appreciate everything you've done. I've lived this town 20 years. You guys have been involved. And hopefully, 6, 10, 12 years from now, I can get the same accolades you guys are getting tonight. So I just want to thank you for, sometimes I guess you guys have been saying this thankless job. A lot of people would say that to me in the past 2 months, but hopefully they'll be wrong. But you're not going to be normal people, you're still going to be councilman, and I appreciate the work you've done.
Thank you.
Steve.
Anyone else who wish to be heard?
Good evening. Jean Freitag, 35 Hillman Drive. I would just like to remind everyone that the referendum vote for the schools is on January the 28th. Detailed information is now on the school's website for everyone to view. and that will probably answer any questions that anyone may have. To the outgoing councilman, best of luck. Hope to see
Thank
you
you.
both around town and at church or any place appropriate. And I wish the best to the incoming councilman. Happy holidays to all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me have Mr. Damrat.
Hello?
Peter Scalaro, 12 Craig Court. Councilman Castiglia, thank you for your services.
Thank you.
Councilman Conboy, as a lot of you might know, I'm the soccer coordinator at the rec center, and I want to thank you publicly for all your support throughout me being the coordinator and also helping me build a soccer club through the rec center. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pete.
Okay, also, as a board member and as a parent here in town, I want to thank you all, the DPW, the police department, the fire department, and the rec center for ensuring our safety of our children at Gannett Avenue this past Tuesday. Other than that, everybody have a good, healthy year.
Thank you.
Pete, if I could just real quickly say to you, I just want everyone here to know, you have done an unbelievable, phenomenal job with rebuilding the soccer program, everything you've done with the wrecking crew and the tournament you have run. You have brought all those towns that came here for that soccer tournament. We're boasting about this wonderful facility that we have on this little Market Street here in Boulevard and how great the fields were. You worked very hard in securing donations for the children, and most recently, Pete worked very hard with our local businesses and our Chamber of Commerce and has secured Spencer Bank in working with Ms. Pugliese and the soccer group working together, and Pete, and they've secured a new scoreboard to be mounted at Borough Field, sponsored by Spencer Bank, but will be for soccer when the soccer teams all come here. So a lot of kudos goes to you, Pete. You made it easy, so thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else who wishes to be heard?
Good evening, Joe Dombrowski, 274 Lincoln Avenue. To Councilman Castiglia, I wish you and your family a happy holiday. Thank you for your services here in town. You're a gentleman. Mr. Conboy, I wish you and your family as well a happy and healthy new year, and I wish you well in whatever you decide to do. Tom, we might have had our differences here and there, but you really are a gentleman, and I do appreciate what you've done for this town. And I'd just like to say to the mayor and the council here, I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I think for 2013, I think you all deserve a round of applause for everything that you guys have done. Thank you very much.
Anyone else who wishes to be heard?
Keith Ward, 308 Gilbert Avenue. I'd just like to thank Larry and Tom for their service, their dedication, and sacrifice being on mayor and council. It's a tough job. It was an honor to serve with you guys. I served with you guys for 3 years, you gentlemen, I should say. Learned a lot from you. You were my mentors. I was a rookie, and you taught me a lot. I don't know if I should be thanking Tom, because he's the one that got me up there. He got me to run for that council, and I think my wife a little bit, but, it was an honor and pleasure to serve the people of Elmwood Park. It's a special town, and I think everybody here knows that, and I think you guys put 100%, 150% effort in doing what we thought was best for this town, and I think the citizens realize and they notice it, so I'd like to thank you for your service and dedication. Thank you, and I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Ward. Anyone else?
Rich DiLorenzo, 166 Hillman Drive. Larry, again, congratulations.
Thank you, Rich.
I know we spoke last meeting. Tom wasn't here, so Tom, I just want to say, as Commissioner on the Board of Recreation for the past 7 years, 8 years, you've been a great liaison. I know I speak on behalf of all our colleagues, my colleagues there, that you are a true inspiration. No one works harder. You think outside the box. You wear your passion on your sleeve. You've given great pointers, great ideas, and you are going to have tough shoes. There's going to be tough shoes to fill. I know how hard you did work, and I know you're going to be around to do that.
And I'd like to thank you for being a liaison, thank you for being our councilman, and thanks for being my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, Rich.
Thank you. And on behalf of Councilman Gled Pedigano, may I also wish all of you a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year if we don't see you on New Year's Day. Stay safe and enjoy the family. That's what it's all about. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Boncino, second by Mr.
Second.
Second by Mr. Conboy. Any discussion? All in favor?
Hallelujah.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
That was good. That was good.